Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizzano, and this is another episode of the world famous, the University of Love. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the best podcast that you ever gonna hear. Okay, and we just call this show Online Marketing Moves, and we are coming to you live today. Today is Wednesday, March the 27th, 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, as I said, this is the best podcast in the galaxy. And what I need you to do is go out and subscribe to wherever you get podcasts. And also, before we get started, go click the link, or after you listen to the show, click the link, sign up for the daily emails that you are going to receive. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to become a marketing mover, if you want to get into the groove of marketing yourself, products, your services, this is the place to be. We don't have typical we don't lay down the typical BS. We don't lay down the typical bull that people will tell you. Do this, do that, go to Twitter, do this, do that, do this, do that. No. You have to build a base. You have to build a house. We are here to construct a house for you so that way when it's so that way when it's time the so that way when the storm comes, the wind blows, you know, anything happens, the house will be indestructible. We will build your house not with sand, not with paper mache. We will build your house with brick. Okay, we will make your house very solid. And so this is the point of this show. This show is here for you. It is here to talk about marketing, entrepreneurship, all that good stuff. Things that will help you generate money in your pocket. Okay? We can't guarantee money in your pocket, but we will help you generate money in your pockets. And the only thing we want from you is sign up for the email lists and to listen to the show and tell others about that. The only thing, it's more than one thing, but you get the message. Now, today we are going to talk about doing ordinary things doing the ordinary produces ordinary results. Why do I say this? Have you ever been at a job? Have you ever worked a job, worked with people, and all they do is the bare minimum? All they give you is the bare minimum. I don't care what it is. They will not go above and beyond. And then they say, if I was in charge. If you was in charge, you would do absolutely nothing. You would do the same thing you are doing right now. You would give us nothing. Okay? And ladies and gentlemen, I know people love to tell you about jobs suck, blah, 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 blah. That's all well and good, but in order for you to be the big chief, you got to know how to follow. You got to start doing great things no matter who's looking, no matter what position you might be in, no matter what position you might be playing. You have to start doing great things. Get away from doing ordinary stuff just because you think you are ordinary. If you do ordinary stuff all the time, you're only going to be an ordinary person, and you do not want that. The point of this show is for you to go above and beyond the ordinary, to do the unordinary. Okay, you want to create magic for yourself. You want to create things for yourself. And to do that, you have to be extraordinary. You can't be an ordinary Joe Blow, okay? Why do I tell you this? Because I've worked many, 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 many times with many people who do ordinary things, and you want to stay away from people who think ordinary, okay? You if you listen to this show, you're not an ordinary person, okay? People, I remember I remember I worked at a grocery store and I was 16 years old. I worked at a grocery store. It was a nice little grocery store. I worked there 2 hours a day. I would come in, I would wash dishes, I would sweep, mop, clean the bathroom, all this kind of stuff. I liked the job. It was cool. Pay wasn't the greatest. I was making $4.25 an hour, big time money back in 1995. Boom, book it. Okay, I was making big time cash. But it, I remember there was a guy that worked back there, and his name was also Tony, and Tony was a great guy. And Tony, he was he was he was a hardworking guy, and he wasn't ordinary. He you know he he could have told me man, you ain't got man, I don't know, man, don't worry about this, man. This job ain't paying that, man. You ain't got to do this, you ain't got to do that. He was always wanting me to. He was always wanting me to strive. He was always wanting me to do more than the money I was earning. And to me, I thought it was cool. I thought he was cool. Every time I see him since then, he's always like, "What's up, Tone?" And I like the guy. I love the guy. He did extraordinary things, and he just had a regular job. He was just cutting meat, just cutting meat. But he would go above and beyond the call of duty, and it's greatness in that. And for you, when you figure out, hey, I just don't want to be a quote unquote, average, middle of the road. Once you figure that out and you say, I want to do the extraordinary things, there are things that you have to do in order to become great. And there are things that people are not willing to do. There are sacrifices people are not willing to make. You can't, if everybody if every weekend if every weekend all you do, and no offense, but every weekend all you do is try to figure out where everybody's gonna be, where the party's gonna be, and all weekend you work 40 hours, and you do nothing. You say, "Oh man, I'm so tired," I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. You sleep. You go home. You watch a little TV. You don't read. You don't try to figure out nothing. You go. You watch a little TV. You eat. You watch a little TV. You get on social media. You get on TikTok. You're on the TikTok. You're looking at videos. You're texting your friend. And then you go. All right, I'm going to bed. You get up. You do it again. You do it again. You keep doing the same ordinary stuff. You keep doing the same ordinary stuff, you're gonna get ordinary results, and then one day it's gonna hit you. Gonna hit you like that. You're gonna say, "Man, oh man, I can't believe where's the time gone?" You know, I'm 65. It's time to retire. And and then when you retire, you're gonna retire. You're gonna get a full. They're gonna cut you a 401k check. They're gonna tax the he double hockey sticks out of that 401k check. Oh, trust me, folks, they will tax it. They're gonna tax that 401k check. You're gonna get the money. You are going to spend the money, within a year or two, because you think in your mind, there's not gonna be as much money coming in, but in your mind, because we all know this, you live a certain lifestyle, and all of a sudden you expect it. You turn 65, boom, you expect it to, like, hey, turn off that lifestyle you've set yourself up for the last 40, 50 years. Turn that off. Cut back, because now you're on Social Security, and you got a little 401k, you got a little pension check somewhere, and you're expected to turn that down, and you're expected to, just live a sort of meager life. That's ordinary. It's typical. You don't want that. You want to do the things that are necessary in order to be great. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter when you start. What matters is one day you say, why do I want to not be ordinary anymore? And you tell yourself that, and you know all the reasons. We don't have to go into it. You know the reasons. You know the reasons why you want to do great things. You know the reasons why you want to make a little extra money, why you want to not carry on the way you've been carrying on. We all know that. Listen, a lot of times we do things that are kind of like the worst feeling, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, the worst feeling is when you're living life, but you ain't really living life. You're just sort of going through the motions. I've been in this rut a couple times in my life. In my young 20s, I had no job. I had no direction. I had nothing. Nothing was going on. And I just was like, what is happening? You know? And I felt like I was like, how did we get here? I was making no money. I had no job. I was living with my parents. And nothing wrong with living with your parents. You can live with your parents until you're blue in the face. But the point is, I felt like I had no direction. I felt like I was just going through the motions, and that was and it sucked. Going through the motions is one of the biggest no nos, because you start going through the motions, and then you just keep going through the motions, and then you don't realize, and then it turns into normal. So then you're going through the motions, thinking everything's normal when it's not. Um, you know, Sometimes you just want to be able to pick up the phone. Let's say you have a job or you whatever. Sometimes you just want to be able to pick up the phone and be like, "Hey, I'm not going to work today." Nope, not me, Bucko. Stay home, and you don't want to have to worry about, oh man, if I call out today, will I have money to pay my electric bill? You don't want those. You don't want that headache. You know, you don't want that headache. That's you want to be so. So what I'm telling you is, because that is ordinary, and you don't want the ordinary results. You don't want to be hanging around ordinary people. You don't want to be doing ordinary things. You want to go above and beyond the call. You know, as I told you before, when I worked at the little grocery store, I was, the guy was like, "Yeah, come on, man, we can do this, we can do that. We can do, we was doing extra. I wasn't getting paid extra, but we was doing extra. It just made me realize that, okay, I can do. It's not about. It's not. Sometimes it's not about being, seen. It's about, because one day, you know, I didn't realize this. I didn't realize this at the time, but one day when you own a business, when you run a business, and I've seen this with my wife, and it's like you see people working, and you see people just going through the motions and just doing the bare minimum. It's, as a business owner, it's frustrating, and it's annoying, and it's like, and the people swear to you that, and you can tell, they're like, you know, if I ran this and if I ran that, blah 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 blah. There's a reason why you don't run this, and there's a reason why you don't run that, because you are in my line, and you are at my business doing the bare minimum. You think you're gonna all of a sudden raise up and do the things that are necessary to run a business? You think you're gonna do the things necessary to create content on a regular basis? Absolutely not. And as I told you the other day, I was watching this documentary about, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he talked about the sacrifices on the road, and they talked about, being great at something, and sometimes you lose friends, and you lose because you're focused, And is that the way everybody wants to go? Nope. We all know everybody doesn't want to do that. Some people, they have to be connected. They have to whatever. But for you listening to this podcast, you watching this on YouTube, wherever you are consuming this, you are not ordinary. You know why? Because to listen to this show. This is not a show about basketball. This ain't a show about football. This ain't a show about a stupid reality show. This ain't a show about celebrity gossip. This ain't a show about online gossip. None of that crap. This is a show about marketing. This is a show about entrepreneurship. This is a show about, creating content, creating different ways that you can create a business, create a service, make plenty of money, and to get away from, working at somebody else's job, working somebody else's dream. You want to. This is a show for people that want to create their own dreams. And so, if you listen to this show, you are definitely not ordinary. And to really understand that, you have to make sacrifices, and you're gonna have to get away from. I remember, and not to talk about the dead, but I remember I had a close friend. He died since then, but I remember, and it was very odd. It was very weird. Before he died, because he would text me all day, and we would go back and forth chit chatting. But then I got to thinking to myself, a lot of this is just nonsense. He would text me about something online, and I don't care about all that. And I kept thinking, I gotta call him less, because I love him and all that, but you know, celebrity gossip and who's doing what to who and who's cussing who out online. I don't care about that. I got things that I'm trying to do. And I remember I had just got married, and I really want to and at the time when I got married, I kept thinking, now's my time to really flourish and to go do what I want to do, because before I'm before I'm, you know, dead before I'm dead and gone, before I leave this earth, I told myself this the other day. I said, no matter if a bus hits me today or tomorrow or the next week or 30 years from now, no matter what happens, I can always tell myself, hey man, we got it going. I have 3 years of podcast. We have, the YouTube channel. We have a business going. So I can tell myself, whatever happens to me, I gave it a go. I did not stop. I did not say, hey, I can't ever do nothing like this. And so I want you to have the same thought. I want you to have the same process, the same mindset. Like I told you before, if you listen to the show, you're definitely not ordinary. And ordinary people do ordinary things, and we are not the ordinary. So there's gonna be times. There are gonna be times that you have to wake up early. There are gonna be times that you have to stay up late. There are gonna be times that you have to say, nope, can't do that. I have to do X, Y, Z. There are gonna be movie premieres that you might want to go to that you can't. You gotta do the thing that is necessary for you to do to achieve the greatness. And unfortunately, some of you are not going to do it. But for the ones that are going to do it, congratulations. I applaud you. I am there with you every step of the way. I wake up early. I stay up late. I go from bell to bell every day in these days. There's no stopping me. And you have the same I hope you have the same thoughts. I hope you have the same. There are going to be times. The times are going to test you. There are going to be times you're like, is it worth it? It's going to be worth it. Listen, it's going to be worth it. There are going to be days, 2 years from now, 6 months from now, 3 years from now, I'm going to be down. I'm just talking to me personally. Whatever you want, wherever you want to be. I told myself this yesterday. There are going to be days, so I'm going to tell my wife, honey, I'm driving down to my favorite city in America. I have two cities that I love the most. besides where I live now. The only two cities that I can say that I would like to go back to on the regular. Well, three of them, but one has to do with my family members. I like going to see my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law in Toms River, New Jersey. But if it wasn't for them, I would not go to Toms River. But my two favorite places that I want to go to and go visit on a regular basis: San Diego and Savannah, Georgia. I love those two places. There are gonna be days I'm gonna tell my wife, honey, I'm going down to Savannah. I just want to go down, walk around, slow down. Life. The great thing about doing creating things for yourself and generating income for yourself is you can slow life down how you want to make it slow. When you're working for people, when you have a job and they want you here at this time, they want you there at that time, and your kids have this and this, that, and the other. It always feels like life is coming at you. But imagine, take a stroll with me. Imagine that you can have a life that you want to have. Life is slowed down. There's no time. Time is infinite. Of course, we all know there's an end time to life. But just imagine you say, today I want to do X, Y, Z. I have the time. I have the income. I can go do whatever I want to do. Imagine you have that. That is a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. And so, in order for you to do that, you can't be ordinary. Doing ordinary things produces ordinary results, everybody. And we don't want that. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Online Marketing Moves. Go click the link below, sign up for the email list, become a pre-marketing mover. You know, we are going to start. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to start a coaching program. It's going to be called Marketing Movers, and we are going to create a newsletter, and we're going to create a newsletter, and we're going to have a coaching program that's going to be called Marketing Movers. Okay, and I want you to be a part of that. And so, in order for you to do that, I want you to go down to the email list, sign up, be a pre-marketing mover, and then we will start rolling out the emails for you to sign up and get into the coaching program, get into the newsletter, become a marketing mover, because we want you to be able to market yourself, because without marketing yourself, nobody's going to know who you are. Nobody's going to know what you're selling, what you're trying to get, because in order for you to get your point across, you have to market yourself. It's just a fact of life. And so, ladies and gentlemen, sign up and become a pre-marketing mover today. And we will start rolling out emails in the future. There will be daily emails. We will have affiliate links sometimes. We will have links for the YouTube, blah, 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 blah. But just go sign up now, become a pre-marketing mover. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We will be back tomorrow with the all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizzano. Thank you for listening, and God bless. And as always, everybody, peace.